Now in this lecture, we will learn about how to delete a value from a cell. So this lecture is very interesting because practically speaking, we cannot delete any value from the array. Because in Java, any value of cell cannot be blank. There has to be a value in it. By default, compiler inserts 0 values to cells when we are creating an integer array, but you can always give a default values to the cells which number you want. Normally, people tend to use minimum integer value in Java. So the minimum integer value in Java is -2 to the power of 31. So how can we delete any value from the array in Java? So this means that we are not deleting it, we are just updating the value of cell to the default value that we have defined. So this means that if you are seeing these cells empty over here, in reality they are not empty. So there are integer minimum values over here. Now if we want to delete any cell from this array, we are going to set this value to the -2 to the power of 31. For example, if we want to delete 30 from over here with the index of 2, we are going to write array name and with in square brackets index, then set to the -2 to the power of 31. So with this, we have successfully deleted 30 from this array over here. Now hopefully you have understood the meaning of deleting a value from array in Java. Now let's see how can we implement it using Java method. Now as you remember, in our previous lecture we have created single dimension array class for implementing all methods over here. So I have implemented other methods over here, so all of them are here. So I'm going to implement another method which is called delete value from the array. So here I'm going to comment saying that delete value from array. So I'm going to declare our method over here. So public void. So the name of method will be delete value, and it's going to take as a parameter value to delete. So it's going to be integer. Then inside function, we will write something like this. So I'm going to write everything inside try catch block because there might be a situation that we want to delete a value which does not exist in the array. So that's why we need to catch that situation. So I'm going to write all codes inside try catch. So I will write it like this, try. So here I'm going to put catch. So for catch is going to be the exception, array index out of bounds exception. So we know that this exception raises when we try to access an index which does not exist in the array. Now here inside catch block, I'm going to update the value of cell which is located at this index to the minimum value. So in this case I'm going to write like this array. So this is the array that we have created over here. We have declared it at the beginning of class. So in your case, if you don't want to implement it in single dimension array, if you are creating it separately, you can put as a parameter array. Now in our case, I have already declared array in the class, so that's why I'm going to call that array, and inside square brackets I'm going to put this value because here this is the index. So just to make things clear, even we can put the parameter name index because in this case it becomes clear that we need to provide index over here. So I'm going to put something like this, then I will set it to integer.minimum value. Then after doing so, I'm going to print out saying that successfully deleted. The value has been deleted successfully. Now inside catch block, I'm going to print out saying that the provided index is not in the range of array. So here I'm just going to copy this code from here and put it inside catch block. So I'll change only the message. So I'm going to put that the value that is provided is not in the range of array. Now with this, we have completed our delete method. Now let's see how this is working in practice. So here one more time, I'm going to call our method in our main Java class. So in this case, I will just comment this part also. So instead of calling search in array, I'm going to call sta.delete value. So for example, as an index, I'm going to provide 0 index. Then if you run our code, you will see that these are inserted to this array and the value has been deleted. So how can we know that if the value is deleted or not? So after deletion, we can access the 0th index of this array to see the value of the cell. So here I'm going to print out to the console the first cell of the array. So here I'm going to put sta.array. So here is going to be at the index of 0. Now if you run our code one more time, you will see that the value of first cell now is like this. So this is -2 to the power of 31. So everything works the way that we want. Now let's see what's the time and space complexity for this method over here. So as always, we will start from the first line of code. So inside try and catch block, we are setting the value of cell to the minimum integer value. Now we know that accessing a value in the array takes O1 time complexity, and setting this one to the minimum value takes also O1 time complexity. So this part of code will take O1 time complexity. Then we have two print statement over here, in which we are printing the message to the console, and this part of the code also will take O1 time complexity. Now if you combine everything together, it's going to take O1 time complexity. Now the space complexity also will take O1 complexity, because in this case an additional memory is not required to perform this operation. Now take into account that the time complexity here is only applicable for the method that we have written over here. So in this case, the time complexity for deleting a value from an array will take O1 time complexity. Now with this we have come to the end of this lecture, so hopefully everything is clear about this lecture. Now see you in the next lecture.